Aaron Miller, a worn-out single father finishing his night shift as a hospital janitor, walked across the dim parking lot pushing his squeaky cleaning cart. A faint, desperate whimper echoed from behind a dumpster, freezing him in place. He rushed over and found a tiny, trembling dog curled against the wall, shivering as if the world had already given up on him. Without hesitation, Aaron wrapped the fragile animal in his jacket and held him close, as if protecting something he instantly knew he couldn't leave behind. Aaron carried the trembling dog into the quiet hospital corridor, his jacket wrapped securely around the small creature as if it were something precious. The fluorescent lights flickered overhead, casting a cold glow on the thin fur and frightened eyes staring up at him. The little dog pressed closer to Aaron's chest, seeking warmth, safety, anything that didn't feel like the freezing concrete it had just been rescued from. Aaron whispered softly, "You're safe now. I've got you." His voice, tired yet gentle, echoed down the empty hallway like a promise. Inside the break room, Aaron carefully placed the dog on a folded blanket he found on a counter. The poor thing looked even smaller under the harsh lights, ribs showing, fur matted, paws shaking from exhaustion. Aaron knelt beside him, watching with quiet worry as the dog sniffed cautiously, unsure whether to trust what was happening. With a slow, patient hand, Aaron stroked the top of its head. The dog flinched, then relaxed, as if surrendering to a warmth it didn't remember existed. He filled a paper cup with warm water and slid it gently toward the dog. The tiny creature hesitated before taking a shaky sip, then another, each one looking like a fight for survival. Aaron watched with a heavy chest, feeling an ache he knew all too well, the ache of being left behind, of facing life alone. Maybe that was why he couldn't walk away. Maybe because saving this small creature made him feel like someone still had something to give, even when life had taken so much from him. After a few minutes, Aaron noticed a metal tag tangled deep in the dog's collar. He unbuckled it carefully, trying not to startle the animal. The tag was scratched and dented, but he could still make out a name, Marble. A faded phone number was engraved under it. But what caught his attention wasn't the name, it was the strange symbol above it. Something like a crest, elegant and intricate, the kind of design that didn't belong on a half-starved stray. Aaron frowned, brushing the dirt off it with his thumb. It looked expensive, important. But the dog nudged his hand, and Aaron pushed the thought aside. Whoever let this dog end up like this didn't deserve him back anyway. When his shift ended, Aaron wrapped Marble in his jacket again and stepped onto the early morning bus home. People stared, some with confusion, others with quiet pity, but Aaron ignored them. The dog needed warmth. He needed a home, even if just for the night. And deep in Aaron's tired heart, something whispered that maybe, just maybe, this little creature had been meant to cross his path. At home, his daughter Emma waited by the window, still in her pajamas. When Aaron walked through the door, she gasped at the sight of Marble. Her eyes widened with gentle wonder, and she knelt immediately beside the dog. "Daddy, is he ours?" she whispered. Marble sniffed her fingers before resting his head in her lap, his tail giving a weak, hopeful wag. Aaron watched them, his heart tightening. He didn't have the money for a dog. He barely had the money for the electric bill. But seeing Marble trust Emma so quickly, seeing Emma smile like that, some things in life don't need logic. Some things need heart. For now, Aaron said softly, "He's home." Emma beamed, hugging the little dog as if he were made of light. Marble closed his eyes. Finally safe, and Aaron had no idea none at all that saving this abandoned dog was about to save his life too, and change his destiny forever. The next morning, Aaron woke up to the gentle sound of paws tapping against the kitchen floor. Marble wandered cautiously through the small apartment, sniffing corners, adjusting to a world that finally welcomed him. Emma giggled softly as she set a bowl of water on the ground, watching Marble drink with little gulps of gratitude. The room felt warmer than usual, filled with a quiet kind of joy that neither of them had felt in a long time. Aaron stood at the doorway, leaning against the frame, taking in the scene with tired eyes and a softened heart. For a moment, he allowed himself to simply breathe. After breakfast, Aaron sat at the table with Marble curled against his feet. He held the collar tag again, turning it over in his fingers as the morning light revealed its strange symbol more clearly. The crest gleamed faintly in intricate circles surrounding the stylized letter A, crowned with a small star at the top. It looked nothing like a pet store logo. It looked like it belonged to someone wealthy, someone important, someone who probably didn't leave their dog behind a dumpster. He grabbed his old phone and typed the number engraved on the tag. The call didn't go through. Disconnected, the automated voice repeated. He tried again. Same message. With a sigh, He set the phone down and rubbed his forehead. "Where did you come from, Marble?" he murmured. The dog lifted his head as if recognizing his name, letting out a soft, hopeful bark before resting again. Later that day, Aaron took Marble to a nearby clinic. The vet examined him gently, noting the malnourishment, the scratches, the bruises that hinted at a history no dog deserved. "He's been through a lot," she said softly, "but he's young. With proper care, he'll recover." Aaron nodded, relieved, though his stomach tightened when he saw the bill. It wasn't huge, but it was enough to remind him how tight things were. Still, when he looked at Marble, those eyes so full of trust it felt impossible to walk away. He handed over the payment, feeling his chest tighten, but knowing he'd do it again if he had to. On their way home, Marble seemed more alert, more alive. He even wagged his tail at a passing child, something that made Emma beam. "He's getting better, Daddy," she said proudly, hugging Marble close. Aaron smiled despite the worries swirling in his mind. He didn't know why, but Marble felt like more than a stray, more than a lost dog. There was something about him, something that didn't fit the life he had been found in. Back home, Aaron sat at his old laptop after dinner, fighting exhaustion as he searched for the symbol on the collar. He typed dog tag crest to star symbol, luxury pet collar brands, symbol with circle and star, but nothing matched what he held in his hand. He rubbed his temples, frustrated, until one search result caught his eye, a news article mentioning a tech billionaire named Adrian Astor. The article included his family crest, a circle, a stylized A, and a star crowning the top. Aaron froze. He looked at Marble, who was curled peacefully beside Emma on the couch. The tag in his hand felt suddenly heavier. Could this little dog possibly belong to someone like Adrian Astor? Why would a billionaire's dog end up half-starved behind a dumpster? He clicked the next article, and the next. One mentioned a reward for information about a lost dog from the Astor estate, a rare breed worth more than Aaron earned in a year. Another hinted at family matters and inheritance complications. Inheritance? Aaron's pulse quickened. He knelt beside Marble, lifting the tag again. The symbol was unmistakable. "You're not just lost, are you?" he whispered. "You're valuable." Marble lifted his head, nuzzling Aaron's hand with innocent affection. Aaron exhaled slowly. Saving this dog might change everything. For him, for Emma, for the life they'd been fighting so hard to survive. The next morning arrived with a quiet heaviness that hung in the air like a storm waiting to break. Aaron barely slept. His mind kept replaying the articles, the family crest, the mention of inheritance. He kept seeing Marble's terrified eyes the night he found him. And no matter how he tried to push the thoughts away, one truth kept returning. Someone had abandoned this dog on purpose, and whoever it was might not want him found. But things changed when Aaron received an unexpected message on his phone. A notification from a local community page. Someone had posted a plea from the billionaire's estate. Astor family continues search for missing dog. Substantial reward offered. Confidential inquiries only. Beneath it was a picture of Marble cleaner, healthier, wearing the same collar. Emma gasped when she saw it. Marble tilted his head as if recognizing himself. "Daddy, that's him," she said. Aaron nodded slowly, his breath catching in his throat. He wasn't wrong. The symbol, the stories, the rumors. The dog lying on their couch was a missing pet of a man, worth billions. But something else tugged at Aaron's heart. Why had Marble been found starving in a parking lot? Why wasn't the billionaire able to protect his own dog? He didn't want to get involved with wealthy people or their problems. He didn't trust that world. But Marble wasn't just a clue or a reward. He was family now. And if there was the slightest chance someone dangerous had dumped him, Aaron needed answers. He called the number in the post. A woman answered, her voice sharp but trembling. "Astor Estate, may I help you?" Aaron hesitated. "I think I found your dog." Silence, then a shaky breath. "Sir, please don't hang up. Can you describe him?" Aaron did. The spots, the way his left ear folded slightly, the small scar near his paw. The woman cried out softly, "That's him. Oh my God, that's Marble. Mr. Astor, he's been devastated. Please, can we meet?" They arranged a meeting at a neutral location, a private office downtown. Aaron didn't tell Emma about the reward. He didn't want her to see Marble as a paycheck. They brought Marble in a small blanket, and the dog trembled nervously as they entered the building. When Aaron stepped into the office lobby, a tall man in a dark suit stood waiting, his expression etched with exhaustion and something deeper fear. "Aaron Miller?" he asked. Aaron nodded. The man exhaled in visible relief and knelt the moment he saw Marble. "Marble, my boy," His voice cracked as he reached out, and Marble, after a cautious sniff, launched into the man's arms with a joy Aaron had never seen in him before. The billionaire buried his face in Marble's fur, shoulders shaking. This wasn't a cold man with money. This was someone who loved deeply. After a long moment, Adrian Astor stood up, wiping his eyes. "You saved him," he said. There are no words. He reached into his coat and handed Aaron an envelope. "This is yours. The reward. But I know it isn't enough." Aaron opened it and froze. His knees almost gave out. It wasn't cash. It was paperwork, official documents, stock certificates, trust allocations, a financial transfer far beyond anything he could comprehend. "I don't understand," Aaron whispered. Adrian took a deep breath. "Marble is more than just a pet. My late wife left instructions. Whoever found him and kept him alive, whoever showed him genuine love, would inherit part of her private fund." She believed that Marble would only trust someone truly good. Aaron stared at him, stunned. This must be a mistake." Adrian shook his head. "My wife believed in kindness, in fate, and Marble chose you." He looked down at the dog, who pressed his head affectionately against Aaron's leg. "I can't argue with that." Emma hugged Marble tightly, tears in her eyes. "Will we ever see him again?" Adrian knelt beside her. "If your dad agrees, Marble can visit anytime. You saved him too." Aaron felt his chest tighten, overwhelmed. In one moment of compassion behind a dumpster, his entire life had shifted. He didn't rescue Marble for money. He did it because it was right. That fate rewarded him in a way he never imagined. As they walked out of the building, the afternoon sun lighting their path, Aaron held Emma's hand, Marble trotting happily beside them. "Daddy," Emma whispered. "Why do you think Marble came to us?" Aaron smiled softly, eyes warm with gratitude, because sometimes the things we save end up saving us.